Hi, Brian Dean with Caring Palms Healing Arts. Now, you all read comics when you were kids, at least I did, and we all gravitated to, the Marvel Universe, the DC Universe, but I want to talk about being a superhero. Now, what did you want to be when you were growing up? I mean, most of us want to be something important, someone that helps people, and I grew up in naive times. People didn't know as much as they did today. They certainly weren't connected as they were. And, to look at things and say, okay, what do you want to be? Well, I wanted to be a police officer, or I wanted to be a firefighter, because at that point in time, those were people to aspire to. And I'm not going into politics here, so we're just going to leave that one alone. But they helped people. They saved lives. And my parents told me that those were dangerous jobs and I should think of doing something else. Okay, so I decided to become a superhero. Works for me, right? Yeah, that's right. I wanted to have the red cape or the blue cape. I wanted to fly around the city and helping people. Of course, I'd have to be invulnerable so I could never get hurt. And I never have any human problems. That's nice, but guess what? We're human. And that comes with human frailties and human problems. We have weaknesses, emotions, indecisions. We get depressed. We have ego. We have this whole package of things that just can't be shut off. It took me a while, but I finally realized that this just wasn't realistic. And I'm not talking about the part about going around the city wearing a cape. I'm talking about the problem with having the problems and just being able to set them aside. Of course, as I grew older, a lot of things came to form what I am today. I mean, we all are a product of what we grew up. All the things that we brought in, that we read, that we did, they all formed who we are today. I was a child during the race to the moon, so I became interested in things like science fiction. There was a time I wanted to be an astronaut flying my spaceship to other planets, but then my parents told me I really needed to be really smart for that. And I'm not sure whether they knew they were saying such a thing, but they were actually telling me I wasn't smart enough. It's amazing how when we say something that we just don't realize what it's affecting in other people, and sometimes we need to think that through a lot. But I always wanted to be more than what I was. I still do. But I didn't fit in with other people. I was the kid that always got picked last in sports. I was bullied most of my school life. So I understand those that are not popular. I understand those that don't fit in or feel inferior because they're not the jocks, because they're not the oh so strong. And with what I do, I try to help them realize that we all have our special gifts. It just may not be playing baseball. I read constantly comic books when I was allowed, and then science fiction. And they introduced me to concepts and ideas I'd never heard of, introduced me to words I'd never known before, including comic books. Yes, I was actually getting educated by comic books. Go think. But most of all, it told me to keep an open mind and to see these ideas and not make judgments on them. Let them roll around. And let me stretch my imagination outside the world around me. I was drawn to things outside the normal realm. Instead of just brushing them off as most people do, I let myself be convinced whether something was real or not. I mean, I learned energy from crystals. I learned Reiki. I learned mediumship. I learned all kinds of different things, but I tried each one. I was willing to try each one, and in doing so, found out what worked and what didn't, what I believed and what didn't. And through this, it created a core belief. Okay, let's try it, see if it works. I don't just dismiss it. Oh, gee, I can feel energies from a rock, instead of walking away and saying, oh, sure, right. Let's try it. Oh, wait a minute, there's something there. So I let these things roll around in my mind and decided what was possible or not. And the willingness to do that made me open myself up to more possibilities and make them happen and make them something possible in this realm of existence. All those things that formed and shaped me through the years of my life brought me to the point that I am today. I am a superhero. Sure, laugh if you will. I connect to energies that are outside this realm, and I bring them into this realm, and I use them to help people. I connect with those on the other side to give people comfort from their loved ones. I bring in energies, I calm people, I take away pain, I generally make others better. My sidekick, my partner, is Spirit, who works through me to promote healing on this plane of existence. We are a team. And it's not just one, it's many. So there's a team behind me, including me in their team. And I'm not being picked last. What I do is magical. It's awesome. It's outside the normal thought processes, and willing to give of myself and do this work actually makes me that superhero. But what about you? You don't have to do magical things to be a superhero. You don't have to be magical. You don't have to have a little wand tapping things and pulling rabbits out of hats. Okay? You just have to be you, contending with whatever problems the world is throwing at you. Having an income, doing a job, putting food on the table is heroic, especially in the time like now. It shows that you can overcome problems and continue fighting even though it doesn't seem like there will be an end. And whether you're feeling it or not, there are energies being used with you to help you do what you're doing. That is Spirit giving you the nudge, giving you the strength, giving you the ability to continue on doing what you're doing in a world that is not working like it should. So superheroes are everywhere, and like the sign says, not all of them wear capes. I mean, I do now and then, but, well. We focus on the doctors, on the medical staff, but everyone in their own way is a superhero for nothing more than fighting the good fight and pushing forward when the world is pushing back at you. So, what did you want to be when you were growing up? And what superhero did you turn into now? Take care. May light be with you.